have you been missing work? Have you been missing being on sets and in office?
I mean, actually, Prashant, I miss human interaction the most. I'm a people's person. I always feed off the energies of other people, be it in a professional zone or in a personal zone. It's always been something that keeps me going. I'm not always very good on my own. I've learned to accept that circumstance when it happened, and I have also learned to enjoy it in the recent past. But I'm basically a people's person. So for me, whether it's being on a set or being in the office or being at a social gathering, I just miss interaction with people. My father used to say a very simple thing. He used to always say, people need people. And I feel my need for people has been even more enhanced in this time. And what it's done is it's raised my level of compassion, because I think that I'm far more compassionate to the relationships I have, to the people I work with, my colleagues. I just feel a huge increase in my level of compassion. And I think that I'm not alone in this feeling. I think everyone's kind of discovered the feeling of compassion in this lockdown.
Right. Absolutely. And now, as you said, then we are talking about unlocking the country and unlocking things, and there have been talks about restarting work, going back on sets. In fact, the government has come up with certain guidelines. And as far as I know, few filmmakers as well as TV producers are thinking of how to get back on sets and start work in some way or the other. Are you thinking on those lines, like going back to work or something?
Well, we are all discussing it, be it with the Producers Guild, be it with all of us. We've got the guidelines. We are going to try our best to make sure that the atmosphere on the set is conducive and adheres to every rule and regulation that we need to follow. Having said that, Prashant, I believe it's not going to be easy. It's very tough. And I myself, and I can speak for Dharma Productions or Dharmatic, which is our digital arm, that I'm not getting onto a set till I can make sure that every member of my cast and crew is going to be safe. And I'm going to be able to combat this virus efficiently and rightly so, because it's always health and life over anything else. And I think that all of us are raring to go. We all want to make sure we get back to work, we get back on set, we get back to creating content, because that's our life, our livelihood, our passion, our everything. But none of this is at the cost of anyone's health. I'm not willing to take that chance, Prashant. So I want to make sure that absolutely every rule is adhered to. And it's not easy. It's going to be a challenge only because lots of the modalities and the rules and regulations and the SOPs, the standard operational procedures, are very possible, but they have to be done in a very strategic way. Right. Now, it's all very well to say that we'll keep precautions, but I know what happens on a film set. You get there and the adrenaline of creating what we do sometimes takes over. And you might take a step back from all the precautions you have to take. And I don't want that to happen at all. So I'm almost paranoid about making sure that everything is sorted, is structured and strategized for a healthy and a completely COVID-free environment. So only when that happens, I'm going to go back to work. I'm saying this for myself and Dharma Productions. I hope and aspire that every other filmmaker thinks as responsibly as well.
Right. It's great that you're saying it, because I know you have 2-3 films which almost went on floors, and
I mean, we were on the verge of starting Takht. We were on the verge of starting Shakun Batra's film. We were shooting a major schedule of Brahmastra and a major schedule of Dostana 2. So we had 4 films, plus we had Shashank Khaitan's film that was going to go in 2 months. I'm talking about 5 feature films that were on the brink of either starting or going to start, and some in the midst of.
Right.
It has been a huge blow to us economically and financially. But again, I repeat, Prashant, none of this matters. What matters is the health and safety of people working on these feature films. And I cannot just think personally and selfishly and that mujhe filmein banani hai and life has to go on. Of course, life has to go on and we have to chase the new normal. But chasing the new normal will take its own while.